Welcome to my channel. Hello guys, I'm Screen Recorder and today I will be doing storytelling Minnikin part 2. So this was the last sentence. And it was settled then that Red should marry her and receive half of the kingdom. On the wedding day, however, the princess begged that she might have the little boy who was in the kitchen, and carry wood and water for the kitchen maid, to fill the wine cups at the wedding feast. "Oh, what can you want with the dirty, ragged boy in here?" said Red, but the princess said that she insisted on having him as cupbearer, and would have no one else, and at last she got leave. And then everything was done as had been agreed on between the princess and Minnikin. He spilled a drop on Red's plate, but none upon hers, and each time that he did it, Red fell into a rage and struck him. At the first blow, all the rich garments which he had worn in the kitchen fell from off Minnikin. At the second blow, the brass garments fell off, and at the third, the silver raiment, and there he stood in the golden raiment, which was so bright and splendid that the light flashed from it. Then the king's daughter said, "Shame on you, thus to smite the beloved of my heart. It is he who delivered me from the throne, and he is the one who I will have." Red swore that he was the man who had saved her, but the king said, "He who delivered my daughter must have some token in proof of it." So Red ran off at once for his handkerchief with the lungs and tongue, and Minnikin went and brought all the gold and silver and precious things which he had taken out of the thrall's ships, and they each of them laid these tokens before the king. "He who has such precious things in gold and silver and diamonds," said the king, "must be the one who killed the troll, for such things are not to be had anywhere else." So Red was thrown into the snake pit, and Minnikin was to have the princess and half the kingdom. One day the king went out walking with Minnikin, and Minnikin asked him if he had never had any other children. "Yes," said the king, "I had another daughter, but the troll carried her away, because there was no one who could deliver her. You are going to have one daughter of mine, and if you can set free the other, who has been taken by the troll, you shall willingly have her too, and the other half of the kingdom as well." "I will as well make the attempt," said Minnikin, "but I must have an iron rope which is 500 ells long, and then I must have 500 men with me, and provisions for 5 weeks, for I have a long voyage before me." So the king said he should have these things, but the king was afraid that he had no ship large enough to carry them all. "But I have a ship of my own," said Minnikin, and he took the one which the old woman had given out of his pocket. The king laughed at him and thought that it was only one of his jokes, and Minnikin begged him just to give him what he had asked for, and then he should see something. Then all that Minnikin had asked for was brought, and first he ordered them to lay the cable in the ship, but there was no one who was able to lift it, and there was only room for 1 or 2 men at a time in the little bit of a ship. Then Minnikin himself took hold of the cable and laid 1 or 2 links of it into the ship, and as he threw the links into the ship, And as he threw the links into it, the ship grew bigger and bigger, and at last it was so large that the cable and the 500 men and provisions and Minnikin himself had room enough. Now go over fresh water and salt waters, over hill and dale, and do not stop until you come to where the king's daughter is, said Minnikin to the ship, and off it went in a moment over land and water till the wind whistled and moaned all round about it. When they had sailed thus a long, long way, the ship stopped short in the middle of the sea. Ah, now we have got there, said Minnikin, but how we are to get back again is a different thing. Then he took the cable and tied one end of it round his body. Now I must go to the bottom, he said, but when I give a good jerk to the cable and want to come up again, you must all pull like one man, or there will be an end of all life both for you and me. So saying, he sprang into the water, and yellow bubbles rose up all around him. He sank lower and lower, and at last he came to the bottom. There he saw a large hill with a door in it, and in he went. When he had got inside, he found the other princess sitting sewing, and when he saw Minnikin, she clapped her hands. Ah, heaven be praised, she said. I have not seen a human man since I came here. I have come for you, said Minnikin. Alas, you will not be able to get me, said the king's daughter. It is no use even to think of it. If the troll catches sight of you, he will take your life. You had better tell me about him, said Minnikin. Where is he gone? It would be amusing to see him. So the king's daughter told Minnikin that the troll was out trying to get hold of someone who could blow 100 lads of mouths at one blowing, for there was to be a feast of the trolls, at which less than that would not be drunk. I can do that, said Minnikin. Ah, if only the troll were not so quick-tempered, I might have told him that, answered the princess, but he is so ill-natured that he will tear you to pieces, I fear, as soon as he comes in. But I will try to find some way of doing it. Can you hide yourself here in the cardboard? And then we will see what happens. Minnikin did this, and almost before he had crept into the cardboard and hidden himself, came in the troll. Humph! What a smell of human man's blood, said Troll. Yes, a bird flew over the roof with a human man's bone in his bill, and let it fall down our chimney, answered the princess. I make haste enough to get it away again, but it must be that which smells so, notwithstanding. Yes, it must be that, said the troll. Then the princess asked if he had got hold of anyone who could blow 100 lots of mouths at one blowing. No, there is no one who can do it, said the troll. A short time since there was a man here who said he could do it, said the king's daughter. How clever you always are, said the troll. How could you let him go away? You must have known that I was just wanting a man of this kind. Well, but I didn't let him go after all, said the princess. But father is so quick-tempered, so I hid him in the cardboard. But if father has not found anyone, then the man is still here. Let him come in, said the troll. When Minnikin came, the troll asked him if it were true that he could blow 100 lots of mouths at one blowing. Yes, said Minnikin, it is. It is. Well then, that I have lighted on you, said Troll, for to work this very minute. But heaven help you if you do not brew the oil strong. Oh, it shall taste well, said Minnikin, and at once set himself to work to brew. But I must have more trolls to help to carry what is wanted, said Minnikin. These that I have are good for nothing. So he got more and so many that there was a swarm of them, and then the brewing went on. When the sweet words was ready, they were all, as a matter of course, anxious to taste it. First the troll himself, and then the others. But Minnikin had brewed the work so strong that they all fell down dead like so many flies as soon as they had drunk any of it. At last there was no one left but one wretched old hag who was laying behind the stove. "Oh, poor old creature," said Minnikin, "you shall have a taste of the world too, like the rest." So he went away and scooped up a little from the bottom of the brewing vat in a milk pan and gave it to her, and then he was quit of the whole of them. While Minnikin was now standing there looking about him, he cast his eye on a large chest. This he took and filled it with gold and silver. Then he tied the cable around himself and the princess and the chest, and tugged at the rope with all his might. Whereupon his men drew themselves up safe and sound. As soon as Minnikin had got safely on his ship again, he said, "Now go over salt water and fresh water, over hill and dale, and do not stop until you come upon the king's palace." And in a moment the ship went off so fast that the yellow foam rose up all round about it. When those who were in the king's palace saw the ship, they lost no time in going to meet with him with song and music. And thus they marched up towards Minnikin with great rejoicing. But the gladdest of all was the king, for now he had got his other daughter back again. But now Minnikin was not happy, for the both princesses wanted to have him, and he wanted to have none other than the other, whom he had first saved, and she was the younger. For this cause he was continually walking backwards and forwards, thinking how he could contrive to get her, and yet do nothing that was unkind to her sister. One day when he was walking about and thinking of this, it came into his mind that if he only had his brother King Pippin with him, who was so like himself that no one could distinguish the one from the other, he could let him have the elder princess and half the kingdom. As for himself, he thought the other half was quite enough. As soon as these thoughts occurred to him, he went outside to the palace and called for King Pippin. But no one came, so he called a second time, and a little louder. But no, still no one came. So Minnikin called for the third time, and with all his might, and there stood his brother by his side. "I told you that you would not call me unless you were in the utmost need," he said to Minnikin, "and there is not even so much as mine here who can do you any harm." And with that he gave Minnikin such a blow that he rolled over the grass. "Shame on you to strike me," said Minnikin. "First, I have won one princess and half the kingdom, and then the other princess and the other half of the kingdom. And now, when I was just thinking that I would give you one of the princesses and one of the halves of the kingdom, do you think you have any reason to give me such a blow?" When the King Pippin heard that, he begged his brother's pardon, and they were reconciled at once. and they were reconciled at once and became good friends. Now, as you know, said Minnikin, we are so like each other that no one can tell one of us from the other. So just change clothes with me and go up to the palace. And then the princesses will think that I am coming in, and the other who kisses you first shall be yours, and I will have the other. For he knew that the other princess was the stronger, so he could very well guess how things would go. King Pipis at once agreed to this. He changed clothes with his brother and went into the palace. When he entered the princess' apartment, they believed that he was Minnikin, and both of them ran up to him at once. But the other, who was bigger and stronger, pushed her sister aside and threw her arms round King Pippin's neck and kissed him. So he got her to wife, and mimicking the younger sister. It will be easy to understand that 2 weddings took place, and they were so magnificent that they were heard of and talked about all over 7 kingdoms. This is the end of the storytelling Minnikin Part 2. So, last but not least, remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like my video, share my video, and click on the bell. When you click on the bell, remember to turn on the notifications so that you will know when I upload a new video every day. So comment below for any topic or any story you would like to see on the next video, or comment below for any things or opinions you would like to tell me. So just comment below. So we'll see you on the next video. So goodbye.